Today's video is actually going to be this makeup look that we got going on here. This was highly requested from Instagram and also YouTube. Some of you have been asking questions about the look, so I wanted to go ahead and get a tutorial out for you guys. So let's just go ahead and get started because it's a little bit longer than usual. My face is freshly washed and I exfoliated a little bit, and I'm afraid to get a little too close, guys, because my brows, oh my god, I had no idea that they looked like this until I went to put on the lights, and oh my god. So anyways, I'm gonna start off by applying this Amara Organics Vitamin C serum, and this is awesome sauce because it has a little bit of hyaluronic acid in it. Now you guys know that I love me some hyaluronic acid because I've been using the Hourglass Tinted Moisturizer. Amazing. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of this into my fingers, a couple drops, nothing too much, and then I'm going to pat that into the skin. Now when applying serums, you don't want to use too much. You can tell when you use too much if your serum tends to bubble up like soap. I'm going to be taking the Peter Thomas Roth Glycolic Acid Moisturizer, and you can purchase this baby at Sephora.com. The other serum that I used, I will link a link below as to where you can purchase it, because I don't know 100% myself where you can purchase it. It was actually sent to me, it was given to me. So I'm just going to add that into my skin, and I am mainly focusing it on the areas that I get super dry, which tends to be my cheeks a lot recently. For a little bit more hydration, I am going to take this Korres face primer. It does contain vitamin E, and it's actually really hydrating as well. Now, if you guys don't need as much as hydration as I do, you can totally skip that out and use whatever primer you like. Personally, I've just been really liking the way my makeup looks when I use this. It makes my skin look so smooth and so soft. After that, I'm going to add a little bit of this Murad Essential C eye cream with a little bit of SPF. I had gotten this with the cleanser on Sephora.com. I don't know if they even have this anymore, but I'm sure you can purchase this as a full size. I've just been testing it out lately because I originally got it from my boyfriend and he just doesn't use anything. And it looks like I'm rubbing a lot, but to be honest, I'm barely even like massaging the under eye area. So you just want to gently apply it with your ring finger, because your ring finger is actually the stiffest finger in your hand. You don't want to tug and pull on this under eye area. And then you can go around the area like so. Again, do not pull that area because you don't want early wrinkles or anything to sag whatsoever. Then, last but not least, as a prepping step, I'm going to take a little bit of my Bite Beauty Agave lip mask. Now, mine is disgusting. It is destroyed. They did repackage it since I've gotten it, so I don't think yours will come out looking like this, but there's so much product in here that I just refuse to throw it away, and it's not cheap. So I choose to keep squeezing out what's in there. This stuff is awesome. If you have dry lips, I definitely would suggest for you to get this. It is amazing, especially during our winter times. And if you're someone who just wears a lot of liquid lipsticks or matte lipsticks, you will totally benefit from this. I promise you. Okay guys, so now that I am pretty much done with my brow, well, they're not done. I still have a few more steps to do because it takes me forever, like I said, to do my brows. And as you can tell, one came out like Beyonce, the other one came out like Sarah Jessica Parker. So I guess I'll fix that later. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and prime my eyes using the Wet n Wild eyeshadow primer. And I'm going to be applying this all over my lids to add a sticky base for my shadows to stick on. I've seen people use concealers as eyeshadow primers, Personally, I don't like that method. I always try to put a little bit of an eyeshadow primer first, and then I'll sometimes like put concealer on top because I have an issue with creasing. I have really oily lids and I need something to prevent my eyeshadows from creasing. I'm going to go ahead and start off with this eyeshadow by MAC. This is in the shade Always Sunny. This is in the shade Always Sunny, and I've talked to you guys about this eyeshadow just recently in my November favorites. It is a lighter version of Uninterrupted, so if that's an eyeshadow that you love to use, it's pretty much that, but a little bit lighter. And if you don't have Uninterrupted, then like I said before, you can always use the Love Me eyeshadow by Motives. And if you don't have that, then use whatever transitional shade. Pop that right into my crease with a fluffy brush and make it act as a transitional shade. And I'm not gonna place too much of this product into my crease, but I am going to add enough that you can see a little pop of warmth whenever we add the purple shadows. It'll probably get hidden away, but I just really like using this eyeshadow all the time, to be honest. And if you guys are interested in the brush that I'm using, I'm actually using the old Sephora number 10 brush. It was a crease brush. Damn, my brows look dark as, but that's only right now, guys, I promise. Once we add everything else, it won't look as bad. So I'm now popping out the Purple x9 palette, and this is by MAC, of course. All the eyeshadows that we're going to use is from this palette here, and I'm going to take a mixture. I think what I did, no, I took this shade right here. I don't know how to say that, but I will list it either here or down below. Took a little bit of this baby and popped that right on top of my transitional shade. So then after that, I'm going to be taking this deeper plum color, and this is called Nuit. I don't know. It's a matte purple shade, and I'm going to be picking that up with my Sephora number 27 brush. It is an oval blending brush. However, guys, I'm sure you can find brush like this with any other line. I know MAC has like the 217, Sigma has a bunch of these. This one's the old Sephora packaging. This is the new Sephora packaging. Obviously, there are two different brushes. I prefer this one because I just feel like it gets really good into the crease. So yeah, I'm sure you guys have like a ton of these laying around. The other one's actually a little too soft to pack on the color into the eyelid, or into the crease, I mean. So with the tip of my brush, I'm just going to pick up some of this eyeshadow like this. Tap that off. And then I'm pretty much going to really focus that into my crease area, like so. And if you are someone that have hooded eyes like me, you can tell just by like my eye folds. Don't get creeped out by that, guys. Just start off in the outer corner and then start rolling your brush like in circular motions and then start going into the crease. When you apply darker colors like this, it will create a crease-like shape for you. So don't even, you know, stress yourself out. I'm also going to create a more rounded effect to my eyes instead of an almond shape like my eyes are typically are, because they're just almond naturally. So yeah, we're just going to add a little bit more product as we go. Sorry, there's like fallout everywhere. So we're just going to keep building on the color. Start off little by little. Do not try to go in and rape that eyeshadow with your brush, because if you do that and you go to apply the eyeshadow, it is actually going to create a huge mess. So now that we kind of have it looking like this, we are just going to take a little bit more product, and then we are going to create a kind of like a sandwich effect, which at this point, the day I did my makeup, I kind of didn't even know that's what I wanted to do. I kind of just wanted to hurry up and get it done for the day. So I pretty much just ended up adding it a little bit onto the lid. Like right here into this inner corner. And I just kind of kept running it through the crease like so. Not blending above that, but just pretty much right into the center of that eye area. At this point, I just went back with the same brush that I had used earlier, and then I started to lightly blend out those edges. Now, I didn't press too hard. I'm like barely even touching my eye. I just started manipulating the brush in between those two eyeshadows and just started blending a little bit. Guys, I went in with this shade right here, which is called Mancatcher, and placed it into that empty space that we have right in the middle, just like so, to create like that spotlight effect, just right into the center of my eyeball. Now you can totally make this even more metallic by wetting your brush. I didn't wet my brush, but if you want to and it tickles your pickle, then go ahead and do that. And just started blending these colors a little bit together, not too much. Like that. Then I did take a little bit of this Ethereal Light Ambient Lighting Powder by Hourglass as my brow bone highlight, because I didn't want anything too pink, too shimmery. I kind of didn't even want a super matte look. I wanted just to add like that excess like halo light glow that the eyeshadows gave off. And you guys can totally see, like, it's not a shimmery highlight whatsoever, but it does add a nice touch of highlight. Not too heavy, not too much. Love it. And pick up a little bit of this shadow right here, which is called, I believe it's called Sweet Lust. Yeah, which is more of like a soft, like pinky purple. You can totally tell it has a hint of pink in it, kind of like orchid. And I actually put a little bit of this into the crease area as well to blend everything together. And I think that's what a lot of people saw that day. They're like, do you have, you know, some sheen or shimmer in your crease? And I'm like, girl, no, I don't put that crap in there. But it was just a nice, subtle touch. And it blended everything just amazing together. And I'm not applying too much, guys, because I really don't want that crease to get super shimmery. But I did apply enough that you can totally tell there was something glowing in my crease. Pretty much what the eye look is going to look like. I ended up deciding to do a dramatic wing, which is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to do that on camera because it just takes forever, and I use multiple products to create a wing. So you can skip on a wing and just add your false lashes, but I'm going to go ahead and add a wing, and we'll be right back. So moving on to face, I'm going to take my Hourglass Veil Primer. And you guys know I absolutely love this stuff. So it's pretty much empty, but there's tons of product like inside the bottle. So all I do is take the actual pump out and just swipe it all over my face like so. And then put that into my skin. For foundation, I'm going to be mixing the Illusion Hyaluronic Skin Tip by Hourglass, as well as a little bit of the Buxom Show Me Some Skin Foundation. And I like to mix these two because, like stated in my favorites, the Tinted Moisturizer is a little bit of a thicker consistency, and I just like to thin it out a little bit with this. And not necessarily thin out the coverage, just thin out the actual product a little bit. And also, it adds a little bit more yellow. Sometimes because I have it in the color beige, beige can sometimes turn a little pink on me. But when I apply it with the Buxom foundation, which is in the shade Meet Me Latte, it's not as pink. So that's a nice little trick for those of you who want to try the tinted moisturizer, but you find that it looks a little bit pink on you. Mix it with more of a super yellow based foundation and you won't even be able to tell the difference. Absolutely love my beauty blender, but my beauty blenders are really sad. I need to just go buy some more, but I am just being cheap with that. So instead I'm going to be using the Hourglass number 2 brush to go ahead and blend this into my skin. I'm going to be taking a little bit of my Tarte Maracuja Creaseless Concealer and mix it with the Smashbox HD Concealer. Now, some of you may think, why the hell do you need 2 different concealers? I use the Maracuja one as a color corrector since it is a little bit darker. And I like the Smashbox as a brightening effect, but it's almost too bright on its own. You guys probably remember when I used to wear white as snow highlighter under my eyes. I'm really just not into that anymore. I'm trying to keep it look a little bit more natural as I apply 2 different concealers. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and go right under my eyes with this concealer right in here, because that is where a lot of my darkness occurs. And a little bit on the outer edge, just so that one, I can clean up the makeup and also brighten this area as well. I've been finding lately that, especially when I've been wearing smoky eyes, that there are certain areas in my face that just tend to get a lot darker now. I don't know why that is. And maybe it's because I'm going for like a more natural type of look instead of a super white under eye. So I notice darkness a lot more. Yeah, and I gotta fix this wing. This wing is sad. I'm going to take some of my Laura Mercier setting powder. I'm sure you guys have seen this. This stuff is absolutely amazing. And I'm taking the same beauty blender. I'm just gonna look up, press those creases in, and I'm sorry that you guys hear my phone. It's someone texting me to see if I want to work tomorrow. And honestly, I just put a little bit. I know it probably looks like a lot, but it doesn't feel like it. So then to contour, I'm using these 2 shades, which I think it's Job on Fawn. If not, I will list it down below. I like mixing these two for more of a deeper type of contour. And then I'm just going to apply that right here, just like in the backs of my cheeks and the backs of my cheeks. And this is a Crown Brush C405 contour blush brush. Clearly I don't follow directions, but I like this brush to contour. And I know I don't have a huge forehead, but I like to just apply some to the tippy tops of my forehead and onto the sides of my temples, just to tie everything together. It's not necessarily to slim it, it's just, I hate when I just have contour here and it just looks really muddy sometimes if you don't put it like all together. If you're not really big into contouring, you can totally just actually add the bronzer. That'll be alright. And then I want to contour my double ass chin because I feel like this bad boy just tends to pop out sometimes. I don't know if it wants to be skinny sometimes, if it just likes to be fat sometimes. I have no clue. Some days I have it, some days I don't. Some days she's sleeping, some weeks, she wants to be alive and about. We're just gonna add a little bit on her and just bring it down the sides of the neck. I'm gonna go ahead and use the Melba Blush. If you guys have followed me for a while, you guys know I absolutely love this blush. This is just one of those blushes that go with every look possible. You can never go wrong with it. Just applying that right to the cheeks. And yes, it probably looks scary as hell, but I'm telling you guys, it's an amazing, amazing, amazing blush color. And I'm keeping that blush color right onto my cheeks. I'm not bringing it back all the way. I'm just blending it towards the contour though. Now we're just going to take a brush and then just go ahead and brush away all that excess powder that we had chilling on our face. And pretty much what I like to do, just move it downwards towards like the rest of the face where I didn't properly set, just so that it's not going to a complete waste. I'm gonna go back into the Nines Purple x9 palette, and we are going to take a pencil brush, and I am going to pick up right away a mixture of these two purple shades, which is what we had in the crease. And then we are going to place that right on the bottom lash line. The Motives Onyx eyeliner, and again place that into my waterline. And I'm sorry that I keep looking around, I can't find my mirror. Fantastic. There we go. Next, with a Sigma Short Shader F20 brush, which is not the best brush, honestly, to be doing this, but I'm just going to pick up some of that dark purple shade again that we applied into the crease and create like a nice smoked out bottom lash line. Again, if you are someone with smaller eye space, I wouldn't do this. I would stick with nude, and you don't even have to smoke out the bottom lash line if you didn't want to, or just put a little bit of like a purple eyeliner on the bottom. That will be really nice as well. So for my inner corner, which is that really bright purpley effect that I had that day, I used a pigment from MAC. This is a sample, but this is from the new holiday collection. It's called Pink Opal. And I pretty much just packed that baby right into that inner corner. So if you don't have this pigment, and I'll quickly show you what it looks like. If you don't have this pigment or you have no desire to buy this pigment, you can always just use a lilac-y type of eyeshadow and just place that right into the inner corner. That'll be just as pretty as well. And then for my highlighter, I actually mixed 2 different highlighters that day. So the first highlighter I took was the MAC Oh Darling highlighter, which is my absolute love. I love this. And like I said before, I really wish I would have picked up a backup. I see people selling it now online, but they want like $70 something for not even a $30 product. And I'm like, do I really want to do that to myself? Because I know MAC will probably never come back out with this product, considering that they know Whisper of Guilt was really popular. And they still have yet to re-release that. And on top of that, I actually took the vanilla highlighter from Anastasia, and then I placed that right on top of the Oh Darling highlighter, just to kind of soften it up because it was a little bit too warm for what I was going for that day. I'm just gonna go ahead and add some brightening powder under my eyes because it just looks a little bit dark after everything was applied. And I'm just using a nice brightening like yellow foundation powder. This is actually a Dior powder. I don't even know if they sell this anymore. I had gotten this a while back because you know how Dior loves to discontinue their powders. So that is that. And you can totally see the difference, how this side looks so much better than this side. It just looks really lifted. A little bit just into the center of my forehead to really balance out that brightness that we got going on. Hey guys, so to further blend everything out, I'm going to take my Hourglass Dim Light Powder. I like to take the Hourglass #1 powder brush to do this step, and I swirl the brush right into there, tap off any excess, and then that's when I actually go in and then just start buffing everything together. Now you can totally use a face powder that matches your skin tone perfectly. I just like to use this powder because it doesn't add any color, but it gives me like that really filtered look. In person, everyone is like, oh my god, your face, what is on it? And it's the dim light powder. And I said that to you guys before in my November and October favorites. Guys, I'm telling you, this is so beautiful. It is so beautiful on brides. It is so beautiful just every day for the everyday woman who just really doesn't have too much time to get dressed but wants to look flawless. I'm telling you guys, this is just amazing. That day that I had the actual look, my lipstick was like all over the place. It was like 4 different products and it sucked because it kept coming off that day. So instead, I'm just gonna go on with the Madeira lip pencil from Bite Beauty, which is more of like that peachy like nude. I'm gonna add a little bit of this high beam highlighter from Benefit, which is more pink on the pink side. And just put that on my lips to kind of make my lips look bigger. I know that's kind of weird, but don't worry, we're gonna fix that. I'm gonna add a little bit of Bouquet from Bite as well. This is more like a pink. Then on top of that, I'm just gonna add a little bit of Peach Stock from MAC. I'm going to set my face using the Tarte Miraculous Maracuja setting spray. And then once that is pretty much set, guys, I'm gonna add some mascara on the bottom lash line, and then you are all set. So this is it, guys. This is the completed look. This is exactly what I had on the other day, except for the lips, like I told you guys. I hope it wasn't too complicated. I know that smoky eyes can be a little tricky sometimes, but as always, practice, 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 and always start off little by little. And that is pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to y'all later. Bye, guys.